Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back with some more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this time on to Season 5, Episode 10. It is 10, right? I think I wrote 10, yeah, on page 9. Last time we had Episode 9, and yeah, pretty eventful stuff going on, pretty eventful stuff. We had, on one side, the kind of Coulson and the crew, or at least his portion of the crew, on the Zephyr, and actually trying to get things up and running, and Daisy and Deke trying to survive Sonara, and then Daisy killing Sonara as Daisy Johnson, as herself, as her amazing, badass, beautiful self. So there was that, and then even her kind of, on the kind of sideline, actually having some, name-wise identity crisis too, actually trying to fight the kind of current stigma of being Quake and trying so hard to just be Daisy Johnson instead and everything. So that kind of thing was going on, and then she actually defeated Sonara and killed her as well. So that was cool with some kind of assistance on the side from Deke as well. Deke to kind of taking a few hits and stuff like that. So that was cool. And then the team kind of actually trying to get the Zephyr up and running again, and trying to get it in the air and trying to get it to circle the Earth again. So that was fun. Fitzsimmons found that the kind of the even in the current kind of, I guess you could kind of climate or like setting that they were in now, with the Zephyr being as damaged and dormant as it was, and even with the Earth being as damaged as it was, I think they found that even in a setting like that, the gravitonium was somewhat ubiquitous. I think it was woven throughout the kind of layout for the lighthouse and helping to kind of maintain artificial gravity on the planet as a whole and actually maintaining an atmosphere. So that's how it's happening. And then even with the gravitonium, I think the gravitonium on the Zephyr was actually kind of helping to do like a similar thing too. So I think actually having it kind of maybe in like two places at once actually kind of helped it, maybe kind of amplified it, or like the more you had but maybe distanced out kind of helped with it or something. Or I think I mean, well, no, I think the one on the Zephyr, I think they mentioned the it had like a different thruster system that the gravitonium was tied into, but then the one on the lighthouse was actually helping to keep the planet kind of stable and everything, even with like more than like half of it being gone and like just rubble out in its own orbit. I think what would have been cool. I think thinking about it now, what would have been really cool. I'm pretty sure it probably still wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if it would, because think technically that the atmosphere shouldn't work, but then the gravitonium is there. So I think I can't have one. I mean. I don't know if I think this isn't the case. I can't imagine that this is the case already, because then otherwise we would have seen it. But then what would be really cool is if the debris of the Earth kind of rocks that got scattered, if they managed to actually form some kind of like a ring. So maybe like for the first time ever, Earth actually got a ring of its own debris, but it was actually its own pieces just kind of floating around it. Like even if it was actually kind of forming around what was kind of left of it and everything, but if it actually had like an actual ring of its own debris, that would have been really cool. That would have been really cool, kind of cool to look at and everything. And then afterwards, I think then it would probably be I think then if Flint is really destined to bring the Earth back together again, then it would make that kind of much easier, because I think right now it literally looks like it's actually just kind of floating off and off into the distance, and it's like its own kind of little kind of rubble field waiting to become asteroids or meteors or whatever. So if it had its own ring, it would be visually cool, but then it actually might, like it might make that kind of task a bit easier to kind of accomplish. But either way, Earth is out there, and I think they didn't mention anything about Fitz about Flint reforming the planet, but I think going back into the episode, I think I actually did catch Enoch's missing Enoch's line that I actually missed the first time, was it like they mentioned Flint has geokinesis. So I think Coulson then kind of said he can move, he can control rocks. I think he did kind of say rocks in general, like not just kind of Earth stuff. But then they mentioned that the plan was to see if they could actually find the rest of the monolith pieces and then have Flint reassemble the monolith, and that way they could actually. I'm pretty sure that's what they mentioned. So I think using that, then actually using, if they can find the rest of the monolith pieces and then actually use Flint to reassemble those, then they can actually get back to their people on the lighthouse and actually get everyone home and then prevent all of the stuff from happening. But then of course, Fitzsimmons, of course, them finding out that the gravitonium is here and on the lighthouse, they know that, like that means that this stuff actually really does happen. Like, not only does this stuff happen, but then even if they do go back, they have to go back to make sure that it happens in this way too. So then I think I don't know. I mean, I think then, in my mind, the question is, do they go back home to prevent it, or do they go back home to actually kind of, make sure that this kind of thing happens? Because then if they've seen it, then that means that I mean, because if they've seen it, like, they know, I think that they know it does happen, because then even she mentioned this, it's like a kind of like a causal loop, or like a closed loop of some kind, so it's like a time loop of some kind, so then they go into the future, see this stuff has happened, so even if they go back, they have to kind of, but then I wonder, like, would it not then count as them going into the future to actually see what's possible? Because then it's not set in stone unless they then go back and do it, right? But then it's like, I don't know, because then it's like they've seen what's possible. So then, like, the fact that it's happened now, like, is because it's happened in the past. But then if they go back and change things, then it doesn't have to happen this way. I think that like, to me, like that kind of should be the whole point. Like this is what has happened. If that had, like the gravitonium and everything and all the stuff happening is what has happened because that stuff happened. But then if they go back and make sure that that doesn't happen, then this doesn't have to happen. So I don't know. They didn't talk about it in the episode that way at all. I think they definitely talked about it in a way that's like, oh, not only do we go back, but then we have to go back and do the stuff because we saw, like we've seen the end result of our own preparation and our own actions, so then that means we have to go back and make sure the stuff happens and everything. So there was that whole thing. So yeah, we have Flint potentially reassembling the monarchy, the monarchy, the monolith, not the monarchy, the monolith. I mean, there's a lot more on Earth that's damaged than the monarchy, and probably arguably more important things, but no, he has to reassemble the monolith, and then they have to get back. But then once they do get back, the question remains as to, well, we got to have a wedding first. I have like the thought and hopes and dreams of the Fitzsimmons wedding has not left my mind since that proposal happened, and then Fitz finally accepted Gemma's proposals. They think that like the kind of visions and that kind of my visualization of that wedding has not left my mind. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know when they're gonna do it. I just know they gotta do it, and I'm waiting for them to do it. So don't know if they're gonna do it. I mean, probably be more ideal to actually go back to the home that they know and the time they know, and do it there in like an actual intact Earth and do it in like a safer place. But still, I'm awaiting for that miraculous and wondrous and musical time to come around. I don't know if they're going to be doing songs, but I'm waiting for that time to come around, and so we can celebrate the union of two beloveds coming together and everything. So that's going to be fun. So that's cool. So yeah, we had them. We had Cassius resurrecting Tess. So he used, of course, the age-old procedure of Kree blood being regenerative towards human cells. I think he used his blood or some Kree blood to actually resurrect Tess. And one thing, I think one thing that did actually get me thinking, I'm pretty sure, like, I think maybe, I think that they must have solved this in, like, a momentary way in the past, but I think one thing that kind of got to me was, I think it might have been dependent on the Kree blood that they used. I'm pretty sure, but I'm pretty sure back then it might have been dependent on the Kree blood that they used. But then I remember a pretty big kind of portion of that story being that, like, the people that they implanted with the Kree blood, even before Coulson, was the whole thing that, like, the memories got implanted too, and then that was like a whole thing, because then they started imagining stuff and going like, like unstable and actually just having flashes and visions, and like there was that one dude who turned into like a serial killer and actually hunting down all the other kind of people that got implanted with the blood, and marking himself with the draw, like that was a whole thing that happened. So I mean, I think again, I'm guessing back then, like from what I remember, I think that might have been dependent on the Kree that they actually on the Kree they actually withdrew the blood from. I think it must have been like a scout or some other kind of Kree with a different purpose. I think with this one, they can probably do it with different Kree blood, or actually do it in like a more stable way. And because think even then, humans literally experimented with alien blood, whereas with the Kree, they know what they're doing, they know how this procedure works, and that way they can do it in a way like a fully foolproof and memory loss proof kind of regeneration and everything. So I think that resurrection did work. But then it kind of got me thinking, like, I'm pretty sure this actually didn't really end up and like turn out too well last time. But then Yeah, that's what happens when humans mess with alien resources. When aliens mess with their own resources, they know what they're doing. So yeah, so I'm glad I could get that out of the way. But they resurrected Tess, and then she came with a message of like Caius incinerating all the humans with oxygen rigged with bombs and everything, and then they did a whole kind of U-turn on Caius and blew up his Inhuman stash, his Inhuman sample, so now he can't breed anymore Inhumans, and then the humans saved themselves. They worked together to remove the bombs and isolate them, and all that stuff happened, so we had that. Deke finally joined the team. I think Deke let Voss go. He didn't kill him. He didn't kind of put him through any kind of, vengeance path or anything like that. He just kind of elected to kind of move on past his pain and just kind of leave Voss to his own kind of fate and everything. If he dies, he dies. If he doesn't, then good riddance to him. So either way, Deke has moved on, and he's now potentially joined the SHIELD team too, so I'm really excited to see where they take him and how he integrates and how he gets along with the bus kids and all that kind of good stuff. So it's good to see Deke still sticking around and him still being a part of things and everything, so I'm curious to see where his journey kind of takes him, so that'd be fun. Is there anything else? Anything I'm missing? I don't think so. I think that's... Caius has a seer. Caius also has a seer. He, at the very end, it was revealed that Caius has a seer, and he, that seer told him that the team was coming back through the platform on the Zephyr, and they were circling back around, and he was gonna take some men to go fight them and to end this once and for all and everything. So Caius is gearing up for war, and then the others have to do the same, and it's probably gonna be a bloodbath. So yeah, I think either I'm prepared for either this episode or the next episode to be the last of the Caius stuff, and maybe for them to kind of move on from here to like a kind of continued story path. Because again, like the end game is pretty much for them to get home and for them to find out what the kind of potential future holds by the time they do get home and everything. So can't see them dragging that out for too much longer. So I think either this episode or next episode, I'm kind of preparing for this to be the end of it. So far it's been super fun. So far this kind of first kind of handful of episodes has been really fun. This arc has been really great to watch. So I can't wait to see where it goes from here and how it concludes and everything. So yeah, that is pretty much off the top of my head. That's all I can recall. I don't really think I've got many other notes besides from like tidbits and everything. So yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season number 5, episode number 10. Let's go. Are we gonna? Is the seer of any relevance though? I forgot to ask that last time. I was so focused on who the seer was. I think is the seer, because they gotta be inhuman, or could it be a Kree seer? Is that a thing, Kree seers, or is it an inhuman? Does he have any other inhuman? I really don't think he has any other inhumans left. The visuals on the Zephyr will never fail to just the design of the Zephyr. I love everyone, both in real life and in the fiction of the show, for being responsible for the Zephyr. It's just it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. Yeah, your girl's dead. Your girl's been hokey pokeyed, quite literally. Is he hiding? Is he literally hiding under a table? No, he's hiding behind a shelf. He's hiding behind a shelf, just peeking his head around, like that. Oh, whoa! Is this a leg up top? How's he? Is this dude flexible? How flexible is he? Whoa! He literally just freaking ragdolled himself behind the shelf. Enoch, dude.
I heard someone else going through the same pain, the same process.
Being revived. Oh, a seer! A seer. So there was a dead seer. They had a dead seer.
A few days ago, you were begging for spare mushrooms. Now you're the key to saving the world. Don't say that.
Growth. You love to see it.
Fixar. Parent biology is simple. Sonar is Kree. It won't work. You know this.
So Kree blood can't regenerate their own?
With respect, she's dead.
Oh no. Oh, right for the head.
Then I suggest you study the condition more closely.
Oh, study the death of your own kind more closely. Oh. I think he's gonna kill everyone who defies him before he accepts her death.
They have yet to crack the world apart.
Yeah.
To them, it's still lush.
Oh, gosh.
The whole. Gather my Inhumans, a fighting force to crush S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, his own secret warriors, his own secret freaking warriors, really?
My father, when all is lost.
What's this?
You die with honor.
Oh, is this the
Drink the odium.
The odium, that's it, yeah, Kree cyanide, yeah, odium. Oh.
Into the
No, oh, he's powered up.
bursts with ray.
Oh, odium's, oh. Oh, it's like steroid for him. It's like steroids for him then. So odium's like cyanide for them and, oh, I don't know, I mean, it might be even an enhancer for them. Oh, okay.
You shouldn't give these to anyone who's not a really, really good person.
You think there'd be a law?
Ooh. Oh gosh, yeah, he's super powered. He's super powered. Oh. 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 Oh, jeez, he's super powered. Yeah, you need to get that frickin'.
His eyes freed me. I feel no pain.
Oh, it's a pain. It's a it fried his nerve endings, or it registers no pain. Oh. Oh, you can still die. Still die.
You look good for dead. I mean, you don't look great, but I mean, you've been through.
She does look
something.
great.
To see you too, Deke.
She does look great. Yeah.
I've been where you are right now.
Oh yeah. She had
Something like
experience. Yeah.
Changes you.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. And it's worth the cost.
Maybe he can coach her through it. Yeah. No Tahiti for her. She doesn't have to go through the torment that is Tahiti.
We can fight back.
Because that's what heroes do. And in this case also SHIELD agents, yeah. Well, the two are pretty much equivalent anyway, so yeah.
Sir, we need a plan.
Silence. Can't you see we're discussing one?
Oh, yoy, she's very talkative right now, isn't she? So very talkative. Oh, is this a seer? I think that door looks very familiar. Is that the seer?
Helena,
No.
it's good to see you.
No. What? What? Helena? Yo-Yo is the seer?
I held on to the thought of this moment.
So she knew this was coming because she's already been here. So if Helena goes back, is this what happens? So she's not a literal seer. She's been through time, her memories.
Stuck in the loop. Like you.
The loop of going back in time and living through all of this.
We make it back in time.
Fuck.
Then reaching for Mac. And then there was nothing there. But you can tell me how to stop it, right?
Mac died? Mac died? What happened to the rest of the team? Did they die? Is she the only one left from her time? I have so many fucking questions right now. I did not see this shit coming.
They have located me.
Repeat. They have located me.
He's the casualness in his voice, yeah. I'm afraid they have located me. Repeat, they have located me.
You drive me out of my skull, this party, you, this impetuous, bullheaded
I was offering
squabble.
backup, genius.
No, when the other side of you is a friggin' hero who can't help herself but do good and be great. The world needs that person to make it home.
Oh, he finally believes in her. He finally believes in her. Oh, after all this time.
Just try not to destroy it when you get there.
Okay, that was that.
It was almost nice knowing you.
You're
Was
a
that
pain in
re-
my ass.
Okay. Nearly had it. That one line was a bit uncalled for, but he nearly had it, yeah. For the most part, though, he believes in her, so.
And concentrate on this.
Growth.
It's a composite. We think mostly limestone.
Limestone? Oh, okay. That's an interesting kind of
We have a plan for that.
composite for a monolith to be. I thought it'd be some really alien metal, alien rock. Oh, damn! Sliced them clean. Sliced them clean. Leopold Fitz.
Best need to be afraid to follow us.
Oh shit! He's willing to kill. He's willing to drop bodies. He's willing to drop some peeps.
What's coming? I'm not
Yeah.
Tell me how to fight.
Hmm.
And we fought to save the world from a future we knew was coming. We have to fight. Of course.
What went wrong?
The more we fought,
The world is never safe. The job goes on. We go on.
the team makes one choice. And it ruins everything. A
What's
choice
that
to
choice?
do what?
Don't say bringing back Daisy.
To save him. You know
Save-
it's the right move.
To save Coulson?
Coulson, as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., you trained me to fight.
I need you to leave.
Oh!
Phil Coulson is dying. And you have to let him.
What's he dying of? What's he dying from?
I hope you travel a path to a world I've never seen. Now go.
Oh,
Not until you come with me. Go. This is not my path.
Whoa! Oh! Oh! Her arms are gone.
Please.
Why are her arms gone? Why did they take her arms?
Go now.
Why did they take her arms? What is happening right now? Coulson's dying and her arms are missing? Why did they take her arms? They took her blood. Why did they take her arms? Oh, is he going to assemble the rubble from outside? Is he going to assemble the rubble from outside of Earth's orbit? Oh no, Enoch, 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 no! Enoch! Please don't take Enoch away! Please don't take away Enoch! I'm not ready to lose Enoch! We haven't had it for that long, please, I'm not ready to lose Enoch! No, don't take Enoch away! Don't take Enoch away! Oh god, Flint, you gotta hurry up, dude! Gotta hurry up, no pressure, but you gotta hurry up! Oh, that is such a cool shot. That is such a cool shot. Yeah, he's like Neo, summoning, instead of blocking, he's summoning. Oh, he's gonna destroy them with the rocks. He's gonna destroy them with the rocks, yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go.
My last experience will be a new
No,
one.
no, continue. Oh, Deke. Deke saved the weird robot. Deke saved his weird robot.
Where has this been all my life, right?
A gun. He's never had. He's
Level
never
3.
held a gun.
Hidden in a wall.
Now you tell me.
At this point, our efforts would be best spent
Saving you. We're not losing you.
repairing that.
Saving you. No. No Enoch. No Chronicoms left behind. No sentient Chronicoms left behind. Not losing Enoch. Not today. Not today. Or any day.
But your hearing will normalize.
I can hear you.
Great.
I can hear
My voice.
Oh, that's great. Oh.
What happened?
You're Flint?
The key. The key, Robin told
You're
Robin.
gonna get us home. I am. Good. What are you waiting for?
Oh, yeah. There's the May. Feel the force, Flint. The force flows through everything. Every living and non-living thing. Feel the force. Can he do it? Can he rebuild everything just like that? So I mean, as long as the heart of the monolith is that one piece, then everything just resolves. Just resounds around it. Oh yeah, and it's even changing colour. It's changing colour. It's actually expanding. It's going through the rest of them. He's doing it. He's doing it.
Look at her tremble.
Oh.
Perhaps she knows what comes next for you.
Oh no. Oh no, he's taking it. What happens to him? Is he gonna get superpowered? Oh! Lena! Oh no, he's gonna use freaking steroids for him. Oh no. Oh. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh. 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 Come on, Mac. Come on. Come on. Is future Elena okay at least? Oh, come on.
Break your body with your own skull.
Oh god.
You didn't deserve to die.
Ow! Stop it! I'm trying to fix you. It does one thing. It opens a door. You think they make it simple?
Yes, yelling at technology. Always. It's instinct. It's instinct. It's instinctive to yell at broken tech.
Thermal feedback. What happens to you in that scenario?
Do you
I
die?
will expire,
Oh.
knowing
No,
returns my friends
Enoch.
home.
No sacrifices. No sacrifices.
would be completely atomized.
Oh, so even he would die. So they would both die in that fucking equation.
Your parents will be proud of you.
We'll find out soon enough.
Owen and Mama Shaw.
About to give him a hell of a show.
I don't know her name, so Owen and Mama Shaw.
Thanks.
Oh god. Oh.
I want to watch the light die in your eyes.
Silence.
Oh. Haha! Taste of your own fucking medicine. Yes. Yeah, feel that. Feel that. Yes, just boom! Through this, through the heart. Or the spine even, just whoa. Yeah, I thought he was gonna go for another roll credits. I was gonna go for another roll credits, but no, just through the,
I'm here. It's time to go home.
You know, buddy, hang on.
Buddy.
I know that you've done so much already, but please.
Old buddy, old pal, old friend, please. We haven't even had you for that long. Don't down us now.
Come on, buddy, just hang together, okay?
Come on. Everyone, fingers crossed for Enoch. Fingers crossed for Enoch. Come on.
Son of
Oh, you. Of course you would end it there, of all places. Of course you'd fucking end it there.
Clean slate. Future's up to us now. Here's your blueprint.
Yeah, rebuilding the earth. That's my boy. Rebuilding the earth. Savior of the earth. There we go. Yeah, done it with a monolith. If you can do it with a monolith, you can do it with an entire planet. Easy peasy. Squeeze that lemon. Did the others survive? I just need to know. Did the others survive? Simple question with an incredibly simple yes or no answer. But I believe the way that watching TV works, you gotta wait until the next episode, which I bloody hate. God, that was a fucking big one. That was a good one. Oh boy. Okay. Oh god. So yeah, I mean, hey, I was at least right. I was fully prepared for this episode to be the end of the whole Cassius and the Kree arc, and I was right. It all ends here. This is nothing if not a neat and concise and albeit tightly packed kind of conclusion. Just everything concludes, everything, kind of thrusts you head forth into the conclusion, into the action-packed, conclusion of an arc ending. As per usual, so a nice 10-episode arc covering the fatal future of the Earth and the Kree overtaking everything and all that kind of stuff. So it's been nice to watch as everything unfolds and the team are constantly kind of thrust into corners and cornered up against darkness and all that kind of jazz. So that's been fun. But yeah, this conclusion packed a lot into it. This conclusion had a lot to it. So there's plenty I can talk about here. But yeah, I think the very top of my list is Odium, because I think I actually kind of noted that down almost immediately. The Odium, here I was the entire time. So now I'm thinking, now here I stand corrected. I think the entire time I was thinking Odium was like how usually in war when you get those kinds of orders or kind of traditions, or like in war when you get those kind of tickets out of shame or kind of like out of being captured, like you have the people that actually no, it's not even always soldiers, like sometimes it's even spies who kind of try and prevent capture and interrogation, so then they bite the kind of pill and choke to death on that. But in this case, no. In this case, Odium is anything but a lethal or thing, or like a preventer of life. Odium in this case is a steroid. It's a freaking steroid. It supercharges Kree. It supercharges pretty much anyone. Because they gave it to that trainer guy, and I think he looked human. I think I'm pretty sure he was either meant to be Inhuman or just like a human trainer of Inhumans. Or even an inhuman trainer of Inhumans. But they gave it to him first, and then he started going black-eyed and bleeding from the eyes and the mouth and everything. So it's like it's essentially a supercharger. So that was fun to see, and I think they gave it to him and gave like one drop or like just like a few kind of drops off the fingers for him, and he still got everything he did. Like I think for him though. Because I think, given that Cassius is a Kree, I think it's easy to kind of see it as like a supercharger. Because I think, if anything, I think it also could count as adrenaline. It could count as adrenaline too, because I think it definitely gave off the vibes of like, if not like a super strength, if not a super strengthener, then maybe like a super energizer. Maybe it actually gives you more energy. Because I think the main thing that dude said was, Cassius actually took away his ability to feel pain. So that way, like pain usually in a fight. Kind of pain can I think if you're trained, then pain can pump you up and it can pump you full of more adrenaline. But in this case, not feeling pain meant that he was never like suffering any blowback or anything like that. So then even if he was hit, then he'd just keep going and wouldn't give a shit. So take away pain, but then also maybe even increase energy and increase adrenaline, and then you got the ultimate kind of supercharged kind of soldier. So yeah, so like pretty much an alien adrenaline boost, pretty much an alien adrenaline boost. Also, because I think even with like a regular adrenaline, I think I'm not sure if like that kind of thing can reduce like kind of pain for regular humans, or if it actually just is like an actual energy booster or something. But either way, in this case, it definitely took away. I think well, maybe not took away, but I think either nullified the pain or increased tolerance to pain. So I think, yeah, either way, pain just was no longer an issue. But then lack of energy and lack of stamina also wasn't an issue. So he definitely knew how to fight. And then Daisy finally finished him off and everything. So I think, yeah, I think you still die. You can still. It's not like some kind of immortalizer. It doesn't make you immune to death or even injuries or anything. So that kind of definitely works. So then pain, like, just like a blade through the chest or through the center or something, definitely still is just as effective. So death is still imminent and possible. So that works. So Odium, yeah. So that's Odium, just like a supercharger, pretty much, like a supercharger. So that was cool. And I think one thing that I didn't know if we would get, I didn't expect we would get, was Coulson and Tess having like a shared experience. I think I didn't expect them to actually interact at all. I think besides from talking about how she came back to life, I thought, oh, that might be it. Like it might be like a few lines here and there. I mean, it essentially was, but I think I thought it would literally be like an actual passing thing and not like an actual thing where they actually stop and have like a very brief conversation and then they have to actually get going and everything. But still, that was nice. I think Deke and Tess having that kind of awkward ass reunion too, and everything, and then them reuniting and stuff. So that was cool. But then Coulson and Tess having gone through literally near enough the exact same thing. Near enough. I think now looking back, it was near enough, because now Tess has the well-earned kind of privilege of actually not having to go through all the Tahiti crap that they put Coulson. But I mean, to be fair, I think the Tahiti stuff happened, I think, because of the type of Kree blood they used and also the after effects of that blood, and then they had to actually go through even further measures to erase all that stuff happening. So now she can just kind of come back, and I think there is, I think the difference with that too is the fact that I think Tess still definitely has that trauma of actually having died, like having known that she died too, because I think they both know that they died. But I think I think it would be the same thing in both their case too. I think it would be days it would be days in both their cases. But I think I can't remember exactly how many days it was in Coulson's case. I think it was because I think with Coulson, I think he was dead. I think he was dead for longer because of the fact that they tried everything else. I think Fury tried a bunch of different things. I think before he got to the whole Kree stuff and the Tahiti stuff and everything. So I think he to quote the Doctor from back then, he moved heaven and earth to try and bring Coulson back. So I think he tried like a few different kind of unorthodox and equally kind of black box things before he got to the Kree blood. So I think with him, I think with Coulson, he was dead for longer because of that. But then also like the longer it took for recovery as well. So I think he was dead for days. But I think with Tess, I think we saw her coming back within the same season too. We saw her die halfway through, and then now like a few episodes later, like a few days later. Or I think maybe if time is accurate enough that if time is accurate enough that it's only either a few days or even like a week between episodes, and maybe even like weeks. She was dead for weeks. I think either way, they share the same life and death experience, down to the T. Besides from the kind of efficiency of their actual resurrection. So, but besides from that, I think she still retains a lot of the stuff of like knowing how she died, remembering her life before she died, and also knowing that she was actively brought back from the dead too. So I think they can easily share some life stuff there. So again, it was a brief conversation. It was a very, very brief, like a few lines here and there. But then he did say, like he did, him having been through all that, him having been through all of that, him having recovered from that, him having dealt with that kind of trauma, and him having moved past it and learned to accept what's new and what's gone. He was more than ready, and he was more than happy and ready to actually dish out that same advice, being like, you know what, that right there, the people we're saving, the mission we're on, this future we're trying to save, that's what's real. That is what's real. That's what we got to do right now. So you got to use this second chance that, you know, you've been very forcibly given to try and turn the tables, do some good, and save our people again. So that was nice. So yeah. And yeah, so then yeah, they confirmed mission 1, mission 2, which I thought the original mission was going to be. Mission 2 was very, very neatly revealed in that little mid-credit scene. But mission 1 for Flinty McFlinty. Don't know what is. I don't even know. I can't even tell if Flint is like a name he's chosen for himself because he doesn't know his real name, like like similar to Sky, or if it's gonna say similar to Daisy choosing Sky, or if Flint is his actual name. Because I think it definitely kind of gives off the vibe. Because I think, especially like given how young he is too, I think he was definitely born on the lighthouse too. So you know, I think that I don't know if he ever knew his parents, or if someone else kind of adopted him, like maybe if Tess adopted him and named him Flint, or what happened. But either way, Flint. Yeah, he did it. My boy did it. Our boy, our inhuman geokinetic boy, he did it. He summoned like rocks. I think I thought they were gonna find all different monolith chunks. I thought that was the whole point. I thought that was the point. I thought that was the goal, to find all the. Because I think it would be harder to actually go on that kind of a goose chase, and it would take so much longer. And in the time it would take to do that, Cassius would probably come up with an even better plan. He'd probably kind of neutralize them all, and it would all be a waste. I don't think it would be possible to just use one and then mold the rest into it. I think that kind of little twist at the end definitely caught me by surprise, is the fact that you can actually use that one rock to mold the rest of them into that same kind of element too. And I think I don't know why the monolith being made of limestone surprised me so much too. Because again, I think this stuff is meant to be alien. Like this stuff is meant to be like alien minerals and alien elements and materials and everything. So I don't know why I like limestone. I'm pretty sure limestone. I think, did she say limestone or lime scale? I think I'm gonna try. Let me go back and check. Did she say limestone? Or because I think lime scale is the rot that comes in, like in bath stuff and kettles and pipes and shit. So did she say? She didn't say lime like scale. I think I'm pretty sure she said limestone. Limestone is a composite. Yeah, a composite. So mostly limestone. So. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I don't know why that's surprising me. Like an actual such an alien kind of, you know, artifact being made of something that's actually readily available now too. So I think that then kind of makes sense too. Then earth rubble, like limestone being something, you know, that's found and stuff on Earth. I think don't know how it comes to be, but limestone. Yeah, I think it's on Earth. You can find that on Earth. So yes, and I think then like the earth rubble connecting to it, but then also actually molding into it, because then even the rocks that he got, like the ones that connected to it, kind of bonded and they changed color, and even the inside kind of coil thing that was around it kind of I think I can't tell exactly. I think I'm pretty sure like the actual like that scene, the visuals also showed like dust and stuff from the actual room going in too. So I think I can't tell. I mean that must mean that like that whole kind of level of the lighthouse, like Cassius' domain level of the lighthouse must be made from actual earth rock, like maybe from earth, like from within the earth's kind of crust and whatever's left of the earth crust. So then maybe because of that he can even use, maybe if that rock is made of limestone, maybe if that kind of, you know, because like that being Cassius' domain, I think he would definitely want it to be made of some kind of lavish and really kind of, you know, like glamorous kind of earth minerals too, like marble and limestone and the other stone and everything. So kind of makes sense in that way that like some dust from that would form and come help build it up. But then and then I think maybe even actually be a bonding agent for the other kind of rocks coming in and being their own kind of little minerals too. So I think actually making a whole new composite and making a whole new monolith. So that worked. He built a whole monolith from one tiny shard. So that worked. Yeah, and I think they did put like another one in the key, right? Because I think they needed like I think they had one in the key. I trust. I think or. I think did they have one in the actual key on the Zephyr? I can't remember because I think they needed one in there to control the one outside because those two needed to connect. But then clearly some other technical difficulty crap went on with the actual controls and the console and everything. So then Deke and Enoch ran into their own troubles there. So I don't know. I can't remember. A lot happened. Okay, a lot happened in this fucking episode. So I think some stuff definitely needs to be rewatched in and out of editing. So yeah, Flint rebuilt the monolith. We always knew. We always had faith in him. We always had faith. We had trust. We always had belief in him. So he did it. He proved us all right that he could do all along. So he did it. He got the team home, and then they ended it perfectly as they did. So yeah, that was great. That was absolutely great. So yeah, and I think another little tidbit too. I think Gemma being shocked at the fact that Fitz was willing to kill too. I think Fitz's little trap there was like lethality, but like was like Home Alone, but with lethality. I think Home Alone, you watch a movie like that and you wonder how the robbers don't fucking die, and then everything, or at least how they don't end up actually majorly injured and probably like comatose or something, but. No, with this one it was like an actual kind of Home Alone trap, but actually destined to kill. So with this one, he set those wires up and then pressed the button. I mean, he was saying like I think he was definitely unwinding wires. I don't know if it was actually just one long wire that snapped back or if it was actually multiple. I think it definitely seemed like one wire. So I think he had the wire set up and then triggered it, and then they sliced right through and. When I was doing everything, so I think I mean a clean cut, but then definitely not like an actual symmetrical cut. Like I think for one of the three actually went through the neck, and the other one actually went through the chin and cut off the face and everything. So either way, he beheaded them swiftly and cleanly, and stuff. And he did it in front of Mac and Flint and Simmons too. And Simmons was shocked. That he was actually willing to do that too. Like and then of course his line of being like not only is he willing to kill the crew to escape, but then his line also like the rest of them need to be afraid to follow us. So I mean he could have said something simple like we need to make sure that the rest of them don't follow us, or like we need to actually cut off as many loose ends as we can behind us, like cut off as many crew behind us. But then it's like we need to inflict fear and what's the word, like fear and worry and concern, and the rest of them actually we need to make the rest of them afraid to follow us. I think that line too, like we need to actually kind of instill some fear into them, like this and worse could happen to you if you do follow us. I think overall that scene is like ever so subtly and ever so carefully hinting at the Doctor side in Fitz kind of shining through and everything. So yeah, I think Gemma, having seen firsthand like what the Doctor was like, or what Dr. Fitz was like in the framework too, I think she knows exactly what to be terrified of too. I think it's totally fair for her to love Fitz and to love him despite that side of him being a possibility, and for her to love him in the hopes and in the knowledge that side of him will never come to light. But then actually seeing him do stuff like this and speaking like this too. Also coupled with how she saw him interacting with Cassius and how she saw him talking with Cassius, and then like when they first reunited, I think she I don't think if part of her is still anxious or even worried about that kind of thing coming to light, then I would not blame her. So yeah, but I think Dr. Fizz is gone. So I think I trust. Yeah, I mean, I trust that. I'm trusting that they're not gonna like turn this Fitz into Dr. Fizz. I think they're not gonna pull some kind of Fitz where this Fitz turns into Dr. Fitz, or like he and like splits, and like he part of him splits and then another part of him becomes out. Something like that. I think what they're showing is the actual aftermath of the framework. I think that the framework left behind scars. The framework left behind scars of the Doctor in Fitz, and I think it left behind all sorts of different scars in everyone who actually was in it too. I think all the people who, in both the people who saw and were aware the entire time, and as well as the people who were actually in the framework and actually in depth in their own little fantasies and in their own little kind of realities and everything. So I think it left scars in all sorts of experiences and everything. So I think we're definitely seeing those scars still kind of reminiscent today, and in this kind of like in the first kind of back half of this of this season. So we can only wait and see how long that kind of holds out and exactly how it changes Fitz and how it. Because I think I think also by now I think survival. I think like what the first half of this season has showed us, especially in this setting, in this new world, all of the Shield agents have had to actually kind of come to grips with and come to terms with the fact that survival. They have to survive in a way that they've never had to survive before. They have to survive in a much harsher, much more lethal, and much more kind of kind of detrimental kind of way. They might have to do things that they never thought they would do, or never thought that they would actually be capable of doing. They have to actually go to lengths that they might feel remorseful for later on, but then because of the world that has now become, and because of the world that Kasai has built, they need to be able to actually kind of go that far in order to do things. And it's like Steve's line in the Winter Soldier 2, compromising in ways that, sometimes in ways that made them not sleep so well, but then doing it for the sake of freedom. So in this case, they have to kind of be willing to go different lengths and have to, do things that might not help them sleep or might not help them actually kind of feel better for doing them. But then, I think that this season has pretty much kind of emphasized survival for kind of, survival of the fittest and survival by the harshest of methods for the kind of cruelest of natures and stuff like that. So yeah, I think Fitz, I mean, it's definitely like an interesting thing to put like post framework Fitz with the scars of the Doctor into Kasai's as well too, into an Earth, into an underground Earth run by Kasai's as well. So yeah, I think it's like we didn't really get to see much of how he would operate in this world. I think what we're seeing is him surviving to save his team. We're not seeing him survive just to survive on the lighthouse or just to survive in this newfound kind of society, but we're seeing him survive and do things for the sole purpose of getting his team back home. He's not here to make friends or make connections or to actually do things for other people in exchange for information. He already has information. He knows he needs to get his team back home, so he's only doing what needs to be done in that regard too. So I think even for him, he's going to these lengths to get that kind of job done securely and safely, but then he's still, I feel like if we saw him having to acclimate to life on the lighthouse in the same way as the others, then I feel like we'd be seeing probably like a lot more lethality, both verbally and physically, from him. So yeah, I don't know, just it's Fitz. He's doing what needs to be done. So yeah, and my God, the twist of the twist of twists, the twistiest of twisty twists. I never would have fully imagined this show would pull on me. The seer is not even an actual literal seer. It's not a seer to the same extent that Robin or even her father were seers. The seer is simply a seer because they've lived through all of this and they have memories of what has already happened, and that's how they know what's going to come already. And then also because they're in a time loop as well. They're also in a fucking lethal time loop. And that seer is none other than our very own Elena Yo-Yo Rodriguez. So needless to say, I didn't like her ending. Needless to say, I did not vibe well or bode well with her ending. I did not think they'd go there. I did not think they'd kill her. Did not think they'd kill her. And then, of course, to make it worse, I think even Mac then is kind of led to believe that in the short time that he and Elena have been apart, she's somehow become malnourished. She's somehow become paler and lost lost her blood and lost something else. And then she's lost her arms too. And then now she's being held. And then he is forced to kill her. I think to think what must be going through Mac's mind in that city, because I think he saw her not 20 minutes ago, looking perfectly healthy and with both her arms and with those clothes and everything, and then all of a sudden he sees her sickly and weak and at the mercy of Cassius, and it's just and then he watches her die and everything. So he's just goddamn. But Elena found the door. I think as soon as I saw the door with the actual symbols and lettering and everything, I figured that looks so familiar. That looks so familiar, and I figured, oh, that has to be the room with the seer in it. So I think that's the Inhuman. I think, well, yeah, that's the Inhuman. So it's still an Inhuman seer. No, it's still an Inhuman seer. It's not an Inhuman seer. So it's they're still Inhuman. They're just not like an actual seer. So yeah, I think the term seer is being used very loosely here because those aren't her main powers. It's literally just her lived experience being used to fuel Cassius's kind of preparation. in his war against S.H.I.E.L.D. So, yeah, but yeah, Elena. Oh, my sweet Elena. My yo-yo. My yo-yo. They took her arms. I don't know why the fuck they took her arms. They chopped off, I think they amputated, I think maybe they amputated both her arms or something, I don't know. But, I think she mentioned they killed her and resurrected her over and over again. So they killed her. I don't know why they would kill her, but I think they think it was essentially similar to the actual Winter Soldiers kind of. I think because as soon as she described it, I think my kind of mind blinked with the kind of procedure they used for the Winter Soldier. I think for him they didn't kill him, but then I think they would put him on ice every time he was off mission, but then actually bring him back and brainwash him every time. They needed him for a mission. I think we saw a bit of that in Civil War 2 there. They actually kept him on ice between missions, but then when they needed him, they'd bring him out, fry his brain, code words, and then actually get him ready and do that thing. But then with Elena, they would kill her, but they would kill her when they didn't need her, I think, maybe. But then when they needed her blood for something, or when they needed her blood to make samples, maybe. Then so I think maybe is that how they were making Inhuman babies then? So actually having kind of, I think maybe using her blood and spiking the food, because I remember they said like it was actually in the food that they actually decided. I think in the food they decided like who would come up with Inhuman babies, with Inhuman babies, but then also deciding who would have children. Or I think there was like back then there was definitely something they mentioned about who would have children, but I think maybe with Elena also being in the equation now too, I think maybe they also used her blood to actually spike the food and spike anything else that humans consume, so in that way her blood would make it way into their blood and actually kind of like determine and certify more and more Inhuman kids being born. So I don't know, but either way, they would kill her over and over again, and they would actually resurrect her when they needed her blood, and then kill her afterwards. I don't know why they actually took her arm away. Maybe if that was like an actual medical thing, maybe they actually kind of infected her arm, or she actually lost her arms or something. So then they had to take it away, and then didn't even give her new ones. Like didn't even give her any actual kind of prosthetic or bionic arms or anything. Just left her with armless kind of. Stumps that here and there and everything, and then actually just kind of left her armless and everything. So, oh gosh, Yo-Yo, and then even present day Yo-Yo seeing herself like this too, just absolutely being shocked, and then future Yo-Yo actually confirming, oh, like this all happens because it's a time loop, and then even her being like, I waited to see, I've waited so long to actually finally see this moment to confirm it's true that like this is how it happens too. It's a closed loop for her too. I think she sees this, then she goes back, and then the team tries doing everything the way they did. But then even some of her dialogue, some of Future Yo's dialogue was actually written so well too. I think I have to go back and listen to a few of it. But I think even like her line of like we went back and we fought a war. With an end that we knew was reaching closer, so something along those lines, like that kind of line of like fighting a war with an inevitable end, like an end that they knew was both fatal and was also drawing ever closer, and everything. And then of course like even her other information being equally as impactful and just kind of like raising even more questions too. The fact that like she apparently just stuff happening, and I think she mentioned Mac. I think as soon as she saw this Yo-Yo and actually remembered Mac too, she said cherish him, hold on to him, and cherish him while you still can. So then apparently the Mac in her lifetime is long dead, and potentially even the team too. Potentially the team too. So then she's the only original agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. left. Oh no, not even OG, but then she's the only one from S.H.I.E.L.D.'s past actually left. So then the entire time, she has been the oldest and most kind of in that sense, she's been the oldest and most original S.H.I.E.L.D. member alive. I think they've like mentioned elders and other kind of believers before, but this entire time, Cassius in his domain has had the actual future Elena in his grip, like the one who actually made it through time, the one who made it through all those years and actually saw all this shit going on too. So Jesus, 70 years through time, 70 years on Earth, actually watching it get torn apart, and then watching her team die, and watching her people fall at the mercy of Cassius, and actually being taken by Cassius and used for his own twisted experiments herself. Just oh gosh, yeah. So damn, just wow. And then even her dying too, I think that kind of solidified things for me too, because then if that does happen, and if the team goes back and the timeline goes exactly the way it's meant to, all the shit's gonna go down. They're gonna lose everything and everyone, and then Elena's gonna end up exactly where she was, and the loop is gonna come true. And we can't have that. We can't lose Elena. We lost so much already. I'm not strong enough to live in a world with that at the minute. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't even know if that's exactly how he says it in season 3, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it. But yeah, wow, yeah, just I think her dying that way too. I'm kind of like, I can't help but wonder if even she knew that's the way it would go down too. I think the day she meets herself from the past is also the day she dies, because then Cassius goes power hungry and he takes the odium and kills her, and then beats the living crap out of Mac and everything. So I don't know, just yeah. But I think the stuff she talked about too kind of definitely worked to solidify the horror and the fatality of the timeline that she lived through, where everything was lost and Daisy quaked the earth, and the team was fractured and some of them died, and then the lighthouse stuff happened and the Kree stuff happened. So I think everything she's lived through was so real for her that she actively had to warn her other self to actually, make different choices and to actually do different things and stuff. So yeah, it was scary. It was so scary. It was scary. So yeah, let's not do that. And yeah, one of the things she talked about too, Coulson. Dude, what's going on? Philly C, what's happening? What's going on with you? He just has some kind of infection thing growing in his chest and everything. And he's hiding it away, and he's not talking about it. He's not doing anything about it. So I don't know where that came from. Like if he's been, because I think he got slashed. I think he got slashed by the guy with the knife. I think that was, I'm pretty sure that that was either on the chest or the arm. I think it could have been the chest. I think that his one was on the chest. I think his one was there. I don't know if it would come from that though. I'm not sure if that knife itself was actually poisoned. Because I think if that's the case, then Daisy should go through the same, because I think Daisy got slashed on the arms. I think she should also be suffering from like a similar infection. So I don't know, but either way, Coulson has some kind of infection going in his arm. I think Elena's words were that he's dying, and now they have to let him, because I think what happened before was he was dying and they tried to save him, and then everything went to shit. So now they gotta let him die. They have to let Phil Coulson die for good, probably for good this time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to let him die. She never said, oh, we can't resurrect him a second time, as long as he has some Kree blood lying around that won't, do some harmful mental stuff to him again. But no, so yeah, apparently he has to die. So I think I've kind of been wondering, like, I think the infection thing definitely plays into it. I think at the very end, I was going to leave it for the review to actually talk about it instead of actually bringing it up randomly in the video. But at the very end of that scene, I remembered that one crucial detail at the very end of season 4. Coulson made a deal with Ghost Rider. I think he made a deal. I think he made the deal, and then that's how Ghost Rider came into him. So I think that's how he inherited the spirit of vengeance. I think he made a deal with the Rider. Wait, was that what it was? Or I think was it? No, I think wait, did they make the deal so he'd go out or come in or go out? I can't. They made a deal. I think they definitely made a deal. And then I think even Robbie knew about it, because I think Robbie being the original possessor of that particular spirit of vengeance, or at least that kind of sliver of it. Because I think even when Johnny gave him the spirit, I think the spirit never left Johnny, but I think he passed on thing. Because even in the movie, the horse guy still had the spirit of vengeance in him, and then him and Johnny had one last ride together. So I think the spirit, I think when the riders pass on each spirit, I think the spirit probably just like splinters off into another kind of sliver of power that then manifests and mutates and becomes even more powerful through like the new host. It becomes, I think there's like a bunch of different copies of the spirit of vengeance living in different riders. So he was just one of them, and I think that spirit kind of passed on to Coulson, but then went back into Robbie. So yeah, I think so. Then the deal, I can't remember exactly I can't remember exactly if the deal was to go in or to leave afterwards. Like to leave afterwards, because I think Coulson didn't need the Rider in him for anything more than to actually kill Ada. Like he killed Ada, and then the Rider kind of died down again, and then actually went back into Robbie. So I can't remember exactly. I think it might have been for leaving him. I think it might have been because I think the Rider kind of thrives off of new people. I think the Rider actively thrives off of finding new hosts and infecting new people and actually using them to do its bidding and to complete its or to actually complete all of its all of the things that it needs to do, and to complete like the like what Robbie called, what the fuck did Robbie call them, to just do all the shit that it needs to do. I can't remember if it's actually righting sins or righting wrongs or whatever, but I think to do all the stuff it needs to do, it thrives off of actually finding new people and finding new hosts. So I think because of that, I think I might have to go back and check that scene in the season 4 finale, but I think I'm pretty sure it was actually like the deal was actually to leave the body instead and to go back into Robbie. So I think because then Robbie was like, oh, you know why the writer made that deal, right? And then Coulson was like, yeah, but I'm going to tell the team in my own time, so I'd appreciate if you didn't. So yeah, so he made a deal, and I think we've been waiting since the end of season 4 to find out what that deal was and to see exactly how it affects him and how it affect the team. So I think I'm wondering if the deal might come in here too, because if Coulson has to die, then is his soul doomed to damnation? Is his soul going to get sent straight to hell, or is the writer going to come and possess him forever, or is it going to drag him down to Mephisto's realm or some shit? I don't fucking know, but because he's dying, I think the deal kind of thing has to come in, like the actual reveal of exactly what the deal is has to come in, right? I think the deal might then be that I'll come in, like maybe I think because I think that sounds and feels like a plausible enough deal to make. Like I'll come inside you and I'll actually help you do this and help you defeat Ada, and then I'll leave so long as I get your body when you die. Maybe it's actually like actual fully like a demonic kind of spiritual kind of ownership kind of deal. Like maybe when he dies, his soul then belongs to the writer, and he actually, I mean, because his soul isn't tainted. Like he's an innocent soul. He's a good man. He's done nothing but save people pretty much his entire life. So it's not like he would be damned to hell just for that. But then I don't know. Maybe when he dies, like the kind of the spirit gets to possess his corpse, or I don't know. I think when I say this stuff out loud, it kind of like it's kind of teetering on the edge of like plausible and sounds stupid and everything. So I don't know. But either way, he made a deal. So I think soon we're going to find out exactly what he's dying from, the infection he has in his chest, like what he's dying from, and also what the deal he made with the writer was and how it affects him and the team and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and apparently Future Elena said that they made a decision that actually cost them the world, and that choice was saving Phil Coulson. They stopped Phil Coulson from dying, they saved his life, and then that cost them the world. So we got to figure out exactly what this deal is and how it connects to the end of the world and how it connects to Coulson and all this other jazz. So yeah, it's going to be an action-packed rest of the season. I can't wait to get through and find out all these juicy secrets and all this kind of information. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride. So yeah, let's go find out what's happening with our boy Philly C and maybe potentially save him in a way that doesn't result in us losing the world. So yeah, new plan. So yeah. Then of course Daisy too. Daisy was being Daisy too. I think had a bit of a smallish kind of moment between her and Deke, of her actually offering to go back up, and then Deke finally at the end of all this, he had some growth of his own. Deke finally accepted that maybe he kind of overjudged her or misjudged her. Maybe there was actually some good in her. Maybe she actually actively was trying to not destroy the earth and everything. So he offered to kind of, and seeing how much good she'd already done while she was here too, in spite of the mounting pressure of her kind of being labelled the destroyer of worlds and her being labelled as the executioner of humanity and everything. He saw that like there was still some good in her, and that there actually was a good person inside her that actually was fighting to be recognised against the myriad of, of shit and everything. So yeah, then he offered to actually kind of like help to make sure that version, the good version of her that he had seen and going to become accustomed to, actually would make it back with the others to help to potentially not save the world. I think gotta love how he explicitly stated, just try not to quake it apart like the destroyer of worlds. Well, when you get there and everything, like actually get there and actually keep it intact and everything. So could have done without that last line to be the very, very kind of mouldy cherry on top of an arguably good and supportive kind of statement to make. But then no, you had to actually kind of remind her that, oh yeah, I remember you're the Quake, you're the Quake, you're the destroyer of worlds and everything. So right up to the very end, he actually showed some colours of support and everything. So that was cool. But yeah, Daisy was I think even once they got to the elevator too, Daisy was all the more kind of hesitant and reluctant to actually go with them in the elevator and actually go with them back home and everything. She actually just wasn't willing to go back home, and I think she has faced insurmountable odds and pressures in this entire kind of first half of the season, actually being responsible and being blamed for the destruction of her own home. So I think at this point it's probably something that's actually, and I think of course with the added stuff, actually the added footage from Voss and the added kind of different conclusions and theories from Voss, even from Voss too, I think that that kind of stuff has been brewing in her mind until she got to the elevator, and then she decided, you know what, if there's even the slightest chance that she can actually prevent the Earth from being destroyed by not going back home, then she feels like she has to take it. She's gonna take it. She's gonna, stay behind and see if that's even worth a shot and see if that can actually help fix things and everything. So yeah, Daisy just wasn't ready to go back and actually even run the risk of actually, because then even if things do play out differently, but then stuff still ends up happening towards the end, and then she still has to do something that results in the Earth getting quick apart. I think that would just kind of prove to her that, she, no matter what happens, no matter what events they try and change, no matter how differently they try and make the timeline play out, the end game will always be the same result. The end result would be that she does something that either intentionally or unintentionally ends up quaking the world apart, but then no one sees exactly why that might be. No one really ever finds out the truth behind why that happened or why she did that. So then she's forever labelled like an actual kind of like a killer and a monster and everything. So, and a destroyer. So yes, I think one cannot blame her. No one can really blame her for feeling this way and for actually kind of being so hesitant to actually be the cause of all that kind of chaos and everything. So yeah, but then of course Coulson was not willing to leave his daughter behind. He was not willing to leave her behind. He was not willing to actually leave any kind of member of his team behind. They came through together, albeit scattered, but together. They came together, and then they all got reunited. And then the end game for him, the end game for Coulson has always been to rendezvous and reunite with the fam, and then haul ass back to the present. So he made it clear from the beginning, like, we need to rendezvous, we need to actually, if we're going to stay here, we need to obviously learn how to survive. But then the end game was always, find a way back home all together. So he was not about to let, he was not even about to let self-pity or self-remorse or self-hate kind of, or even like self-inflicted kind of hatred or blame get in the way of actually everyone returning home. So he was more than kind of happy to ice Daisy and take her back, even without any consciousness. So yeah, just goddamn. So I mean, I do really want. I think that does really make me wonder. I think I kind of want to see it happen exactly almost exactly like that too. Like them doing it in a way where it's like, they go back in time, they see the future thing. I mean, because I think the question also is raised: where are they gonna go? Like the light, not even just the light. I mean, they could go to the lighthouse. I think because I think I'm trusting they do kind of know where that is now. So I think they could easily kind of set up maybe a new temporary base in the lighthouse or something. But then the playground is kaput. The playground is gone. Can't remember what happened to Piper. I can't remember did she. I think she didn't die, did she? I think Piper, Davis, and the other guy. I think you know what? It's been almost an entire season. I think I can be forgiven for forgetting some names. But I think those three, I'm pretty sure they're gone. I think Piper, I can't remember if Piper died. I can't remember if Piper actually died. But Davis died. He was killed by Ada. So I think, but then I think those three, I think they lasted until the very end of them. I'm pretty sure, because then Ada kind of killed them amongst the myriad of other kind of U.S. agents and kind of soldiers and everything. So shit happened. Shit definitely happened. So yeah, they're gone. I think the playground is gone. There's no other shield base, covert or otherwise, that they know of. They have nowhere to go. So even if they get back to the past, back to an intact and happy and secure planet Earth, where the fuck do they go? Where do they call home now? I don't know. And then, I mean, maybe Fitz can reunite with Hunter. Maybe Fitz can call up Hunter again and be like, hey, I'm back, and then actually ask him to hook him up with a place for a few days or something. I don't know, but I think that's also a question I feel like needs to be asked as of right now. Like, like, where are they gonna go? Well, where are they gonna call home from now on? Even if they make it back to the future safely. So I don't know. Me no know. So. Yeah, but I think on that note, I really do hope they actually get to kind of go back and actually kind of I really want to see how this timeline plays out, exactly what they figure out from now on. Like, because I think they're not being given a timeline kind of map in the sense that they know like different kinds of major events. Because I think if they go back, then wouldn't they have to tie it back into the MCU? Because then, based on when they went back to, I think they'd be coming up close to Infinity War. I almost completely forgot. I think because this was so far into the future too, and I think all this other crazy stuff had happened. I at least like I mostly forgot that in Infinity War is still a thing that's meant to happen. And even if they go back in time to the present, then I think they're headed into 2018. So then that is like pretty much the time that the Infinity War happens, and then Thanos is coming, and then he's bringing his people, and the Infinity Stone stuff is happening. So I think that kind of tie-in, that crossover has to happen. So then, are we going to start seeing people get dusted? Are we going to see, people getting, what are we going to see? So I think, I don't know, I mean, if they're going to detect that Thanos is coming, if they have to actually, I mean, because I think Infinity War was easily one of the biggest kind of events in the actual larger movie universe. So then even if they tie that into this, then I think the closest they could probably come, because I don't know if they'd actually go full on with the dusting. Because if the dusting came through, then they'd be a part of what was left behind, and then not incorporating them into that story would be the biggest kind of fuck up ever. And then we clearly know they didn't do that in the movies. So I think I feel like the closest they might come is actually planning to do Thanos, planning to help to actually kind of find a way to defeat, maybe not directly defeat Thanos, but then actually because again Avengers level threat, but then actually planning to analyze Thanos' threat, but then actually kind of maybe coming face to face with something else. So I don't know. I really do not know. So I guess we are just gonna have to wait and see exactly what kind of new threat they come up against, and exactly I think also again no specific timeline map of different events or different kind of headlines or different kind of points in time that they need to avoid or alter or something. So they go back in time with the full intent and determination to not destroy the Earth, and then they hope for the absolute best. That's the best they can do. They just hope for the best and hope they don't mess it up. So. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun watching them navigate that. So yeah, I think also severely hoping we didn't lose our our genderless plastic and of course our better Star-Lord. Hoping we didn't lose them, because then stuff went wrong with the machine. Because then the Kree came in. The Kree came in and slashed Enoch's face and even his chest and everything. His chest was burst open with wires and tech going awry. So. There was that, and then the Kree came in and he fought them, and then Deke came in and he came with a gun too, his first time firing a gun, holding weapons, so, he had those, and that's what happened. But then, of course, the controls were damaged, and they need to find a way to fix that to help supercharge the machine and to help power it up and everything. So, yeah, so then Enoch came up with the kind of the clever yet self-sacrificial idea of actually using his own battery that had been keeping him alive for 30,000 years. To 32,000 years even, to power the machine. But then of course doing that would kill him, and it would kill the person next to him, because it would be like, I think he said like it would result in like an exothermic vapor in an exothermic explosion or something. So it would actually just vaporize and destroy everything within its kind of whatever blast radius that was. So yeah, and then we saw at the very end too, they supercharged the machine, they did the thing, and then the machine lit up in Deke's face, and before he was allowed to finish his sentence, they pulled a Nick Fury and actually kind of ended him, or potentially ended him. I think I don't know if I'm really not comfortable with that being an ending for Deke and Enoch. Like Enoch especially, but I think Deke too. I think that they both have not only have they both only just started out, but they both have such interesting kind of character stuff going on that I really want to see more of them. I really want to keep Enoch. Like, Enoch is so much fun. Enoch is so fun. Please don't take Enoch away, okay? He's fun, he's cool, he's sciencey, he's futuristic, he's You know, he's Enoch. You can't kill Enoch. You cannot kill Enoch. You know, even Fitz needs him too. I mean, Fitz being like, you know, come on, buddy, make it, just hang in there. I believe in you. Him begging Enoch to actually stay intact and stay hanging on there too. And then Deke just kind of being like, you know, oh, I always knew working with you fuckers was gonna blow up in my face, and now it's about to become a reality. So he was just waiting for the inevitable explosion of death to, you know, very, very kind of you know, that fiery grace upon his skin. So yeah, I don't know if that machine really blew up and actually killed them both, or because I think then on the other hand too, because I think Enoch too, you know, I think he hasn't really kind of been fulfilling or even living his life according to any other prophecies. He hasn't really kind of been, the only other prophecy that he knew he had to fulfill was getting Fitz to the future so that he could save his friends. So then he did. Like, I think he even said he would die peacefully and he would die happy, knowing that his friends and the friends of his friend and the friends of his friend made it back to their home safe and sound. Like he knew that was the final prophecy that Robin ever truly kind of gave him. So he knew, or at least I trust as much. I think I trust as much because even as she died too, I think the final prophecy that Robin ever gave out was to May that Flint had to be the key, and then Flint and May met too, and then he got a nice healthy dose of serious yet fair, like warm but deadly Mama May, Melinda May and Mama May at the same time. So that was cool. But I think to my knowledge, I think even Enoch wasn't really given any other kind of prophecies personally by Robin either. He was given that picture, and then he was like, you know, this prophecy now, so I have to help you fulfill it. And he did. So then he died, knowing his friend, his buddy, made it back home. But I don't want to lose Enoch. I like he can, like, you know, for once he can live without prophecies too. He doesn't need a prophecy to live. He just needs Fitz and now the SHIELD team too. So, you know, if he is dead, justice for Enoch. If he is dead, justice for Enoch. That is my kind of new calling. So yeah, and then Deke as well. Deke, I think he's spent this entire kind of season kind of being cynical and being surrounded by tragedy and surrounded by nothing but bad news and the threat of imminent danger at the hands of these, you know, stubborn and incessant and persistent kind of SHIELD agents and everything. So he's been on like a rollercoaster ride of truth and discovery and betrayal and revelation and everything. So I feel like he's got a lot more to offer too. I think he has a lot to offer the SHIELD team too. I think he, you know, like given the chance, I feel like he could really blend in well with the SHIELD team and actually offer them a lot in terms of saving the world. And actually, I think he definitely kind of deserves the chance to be able to live to see a world. And I mean, they all do. All the humans who survive do. Yeah, I think they definitely, because I think especially him having been born on the lighthouse too, him having been born on the lighthouse to his human parents too. I think he definitely deserves to. Him and Flint being kids of the lighthouse too. I think they deserve to be able to see the world that now isn't and once was and everything. So I don't know. I think hopefully Deke and Enoch made it out okay. I'm hoping. I have my fingers crossed and my heart pumping for Enoch and Deke to have made it out safely and soundly, and for them to reunite with the team of SHIELD agents that were sent back to the past and everything. I think it seems the monolith worked. Seems the monolith ever so slightly worked, because I think even Mac and Lena had to actually reunite with them afterwards too. And then Mac reuniting with Elena and actually kind of finding her again. And Gemma was with them too. Gemma put the actual silver thing into Kasai's ear, and then I thought Mac would go for like another roll credits thing like with Ada, but no, he actually just kind of shoved it through the center of his chest and then actually tossed him aside. So again, Kasai, done and dusted. Kasai, Sonara, full neck, done and dusted. So yes, I think Gemma was with Mac and Lena, so I think they had to make it back in time too. So I think then trusting that they all got back in time and they all were taken back safely by the monolith. So here's hoping, and also logically waiting until the next episode to see where exactly what goes down. So yeah, but please keep Enoch and Deke safe. Yeah, just let's keep Enoch and Deke around and keep them safe and happy and everything. So yes, please and thank you. So yeah. and then of course Flint's final mission, his second mission. I think I even loved the way they actually confirmed that, and actually kind of showed that too, like them actually still having that little kind of globe thing that Virgil kept with him and everything, like him. Even now, I think, now Virgil's dead, so he'll never get to actually see that happening. Like he always dreamt of actually being able to live to see, like to actually see a time when the globe in his hand would also be like become a reality out in space again. And now Flint, and in his name and in his honor, I think, like in his memory, Flint and Tess are about to do that same thing too. So now Flint has the blueprint. Now they're literally out in the trawler and in range of all the Earth rubble around them. So now Flinty McFlint can actually he can actually do the thing. He can actually kind of save the Earth, rebuild their home, and actually bring everyone together again. Actually kind of rebuild a planet capable of hopefully naturally sustaining its own atmosphere, and actually doing so, actually saving their world again. So we'll see. We will see if that is exactly how this goes. But I think it was nice for them to actually to at least confirm it in that kind of a mid-credit scene. So ace work. So yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this episode. Again, a big one, an epic conclusion to this arc of the future Earth of the Lighthouse and the kind of Kree kind of domination of the human race and Cassius stuff. Cassius made for a great. I think I personally really enjoyed Cassius as a villain too. He was really fun, and he was really kind of like scary at times, and actually kind of like made for like an effective and fearsome kind of villain. And him with Sonara too, like an iconic duo. So I personally really enjoyed this season, and actually kind of exploring the kind of exploring the villainy of this kind of sect of the Kree and what they did, and exploring humanity in this kind of like culture and in this kind of climate, or in this lack of culture and in this kind of overheated and over aggressive kind of climate, and exactly like how humanity was kind of struggling to get by in these desperate times, and seeing shield agents of all people from the past, from such a kind of calm and collected past, actually being thrust into this kind of like a futuristic kind of war for the future and everything. So it was cool. This arc has been really cool and really enjoyable. So yeah, I cannot wait to see what is next in store after the Kree stuff, and exactly how they kind of work on making sure that they can go back to a timeline where they're not en route to watching the Earth get destroyed. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got for this one. So that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode number 10. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment what your thoughts are on this episode, what you thought of this arc and how you felt about it, and what your favourite parts were, and anything you enjoyed or even didn't enjoy, any kind of anything you think could have been better, or anything you kind of personally didn't enjoy, just any opinions you have, any thoughts you have on this, and what you're looking forward to seeing, and how you feel how you feel about going further into the season, seeing what it has to offer and everything. So leave those thoughts down below. For those interested, the full length reaction over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it for now. So until next time, bye bye for now.